All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Could I have roll call, please? Deborah Albert. Here. Lee Burse. Here. Lee Buchanan.
Here.
Andrew Burnham. Sorrel Maines. Here. Amy Maines-Hoyt. Here. Sharon Menegoni. Here. Amy Morton. Here. Suzanne Schrader. Here. Philip Shane.
Here.
Carla Swanson Murphy. Here. Next, if everyone could rise that are able to the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, I need a motion to approve the agenda, please. So moved. Second. A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Next, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting from January 12th, 2026.
Madam Chair, my minutes say January 26th.
Yeah.
Oh. They do indeed.
Yeah.
It should be 12. Well,
No, I think the meeting was on the 26th.
It was.
Yeah, no, I think the agenda
Is
should
wrong.
say
yes.
January
Yeah.
26th,
Yeah.
right? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So moved. Second.
You. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor? Unanimous. All right. Next, moving on to administrator comments. Our elementary principals, Ms. R.
Are you sure? I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Sorry, my hair's not ready. Okay.
Stan,
How do I look, Josh? Okay. All right. I'm all frazzled now. All right. So for our enrollment,
Yes.
part of my evaluation. Oh God. All right. So our current enrollment is 251 students. We've welcomed 2 new kiddos since our last meeting. Our daily average attendance has had a little bit of dip to 93. It's flu season, it's stomach bug season. We get it. Our families have been doing a really good job letting us know in the office why their kiddo was out. Last year, we were part of a training for Count Me In, and one of the things that I really held on to was just parent notification around student attendance. So 3 times a year with a report card, you found out how many times your kiddo was absent or maybe tardy or early dismissed. So we thought it was really proactive that any kiddos that were starting to flag as having a higher number, just sending a notification friendly letter of like, hey, you might not know, this is just for you. So those went out this week just to notify families where their kiddos are at with their attendance. Last month, well, I wrote this last month. So in December, just a quick little thing for us is we had our holiday concert that I really wanted to share out. We had over 920 family and community members come and be a part of our winter concert, which I thought was great for community engagement and involvement. I've also had 55 positive office referrals. So that's, again, when students are recognized for positive behavior, I either make a call home or email parents to let them know that their kiddo has done something above and beyond our expectations, which leads into a new initiative that we did last year. From January to the end of the year, we do an annual, or a weekly rather, assembly. It's called our Rockstar Show, where I sign into a Google link with our whole school Friday mornings. And we do a raffle for any kiddos that have earned a Rockstar ticket, highlighting students that have positive behavior. We call 3 kiddos per grade level down. Everyone gets really excited. We also added in teachers this year, and we have a little teacher cart that they can win prizes. So our whole school gets really excited. So we really wanted to see if this was making an impact. So we looked at some of our historical OBR data, which is our office behavior referrals. So how many kiddos have been called to the office for needing support around their behavior. Last year at this time, we had 209 OBRs, and today we have 153. So we're going in the right direction. Students last week and the week before worked really hard on their NWEA assessments and their core phonics assessments. This week, teachers and administrators and our instructional coordinator are going to be diving into our student data to see what our tier 1, our classroom instructions, need to be fixed or adjusted. I have peeked at the data because I love looking at it, and I'm really excited to see what hard work our teachers have put in, but also what our students are producing for this time in the school year. Our teachers have been working really hard in our half-day PD. We've had things from NWA training for our one-on-one coaching. We've participated with Great Schools Partnership in our differentiation, and we've had some formative assessment training. with Courtney actually today, where our staff dove in to see, we're taking our formative assessments, but what are we doing with it? And she provided several strategies for staff to take away and try to implement this week. So next steps for our staff's professional development. One of the things that we looked at, or I've already peeked at for our data and our new curriculum, is looking at enhancing ways to deepen our whole group comprehension strategies. So how can teachers incorporate more engaging strategies to get every kid to participate in the whole group discussions? So we'll be working with our instructional coordinator. Right now, we've worked to complete one unit for documenting comprehension strategies. So helping teachers plan what questions for each book that they're going to dive deep into, and then tagging it to the Maine State Learning Results Standards. And then we pulled it over into a form that teachers can record it, and then it helps average the score so that they can better align their report cards. So teachers can understand what standards have they really hit during their whole group reading, and then how the students are averaging in their class. So we're still kind of working out the bugs and trying to start. We started at the second grade level and we're going to go back down. And then we're also next half day I'm doing for kindergarten and first grade teachers, diving into those comprehension strategies, providing professional development by modeling some strategies, but also having them leave with a little handout that they can go back and plan with their team of how to introduce best practices for comprehension. And that's it. Thanks.
This is our young. No.
Good evening. The current enrollment at Stevens Brook is 284 students. We're going to be welcoming a new pre-K student on Wednesday, and we'll be losing a fourth grade student who is moving on Friday. Our Maine through the year and NUIA winter testing cycles are complete, which provides valuable data to inform instruction for the remainder of the school year. Teachers are doing their own assessments this month, as well as they prepare for instructional steps, report cards, and conferences that will be taking place in March. Our staff continues to engage in collaborative work during PLCs. We just had Joshua Stirk last week. He went over exact path training with our 3rd to 5th grade teachers. This program uses data from the Maine through year tests and creates personalized pathways for students. And with our kindergarten and first grade teachers, we have been working on curriculum alignment with the writing materials. And with second grade, working on incorporating math skills into multiple parts of the day. Our recent early release day in partnership with the Great Schools Partnership focused on differentiation and instructional methods. One of the highlights was the AI integration. Staff explored tools that they could use to unpack the Maine learning results. And it was certainly one of the highlights based on the feedback that we got after the session. Several people also worked on goal setting. So another key focus was effective goal setting with students to increase ownership of their learning. And then collaborative inquiry. Staff participated in choice-based sessions. That's how it was structured. And I think that's been a positive shift for our staff overall. So next steps, we're going to build off of what Great Schools Partnership did with AI. We had a cancellation. Josh was supposed to do an AI training with all of the elementary staff. We had a snow day, so he's going to come and join us at a staff meeting in March. So we'll take what the teachers want to learn about and move forward with that. Thank you.
I didn't want to assume. You know how to adjust your TV? I am the halftime show. So, the first thing that I want to share is I'm really proud of the work Liz, Shane, and I are doing with staff evaluations this year. We received a direction from the superintendent and assistant superintendent to really look at the feedback we're giving staff during our observations and our evaluations with them. And so Liz and I have done some observations together and then compared notes. We've had assistant superintendent do observations with us and compare notes. And we've had other staff in the district come do observations with us. So we're able to share and learn from each other and give really direct feedback to staff that hopefully is helpful to them and their practice as they move forward. We are also finishing our NWEA and MT administration. We have 2 more tests to do, so hopefully tomorrow we will finish. On Wednesday, we are administering the NAEP, which is the National Report Card of Progress in 4th graders in our building. So we'll have staff from NAEP doing that again all day on February 11th. We are beginning our planning for our parent engagement at the end of this month. Our theme is Winter Olympics, and we'll be having some mock events and fun with flags and event trivia. Our early release days, we've had great schools partnerships and have done some work along with them and gotten some feedback from staff that we've also used with our leadership team to look at goals for our own building and how we can address some of the things toward differentiation in the building that we work in with the students that we want to focus on. Our staff have made their choices for book choices from the Carol Hancock Foundation through Teen Long Run. And those books, every student will get a book, and all of the books are connected to our literacy and or content area concepts. And then I will be speaking to the Rotary next week at their breakfast, and I will be speaking about the importance of literacy in our young students. Thank you.
Good evening. Since I presented last, we've had some late arrival professional development opportunities. Our resource room staff have been working with their general education colleagues, great school partnerships, and for differentiation. Our self-contained programs have begun their work with Dr. Bickford. They've had 2 sessions. One of them was canceled due to snow, so we're trying to figure out how to make that one up. They're working on the neurobiology of self-regulation and maximizing structure and predictability, teaching and using expectations. In the next 2 sessions, they'll be working on acknowledging appropriate behavior and effectively responding to interfering behavior. I skipped a line there. So following each new learning of topics, staff work in their programmatic groups to differentiate for the learners. After the first session, many staff across the grade levels came and spoke to me about how valuable the learning was. They felt like it was really connected to the work they're doing with students. I worked with the building principals to adjust our PD schedule, and with support from Courtney and Al. On February 2nd, all K-12 self-contained teachers met together to talk about their programs. And my initial goal for that PD was that they were going to come out with a mission and vision statement, right? Like, why not? Let's get them all together. And what didn't happen was a mission and vision statement. But what happened was great, rich conversation amongst K-12 staff talking about what they're seeing at each of their grade spans, which was really valuable for them. Today, they met and they worked on procedures for various program scenarios. So how do we enter classrooms safely? How do we access a choice break? From there, they built behavior matrix and then identified the behaviors that were expected within each of those behavior matrix. Once they were done, if they had time, some teams took a little bit longer. They started planning out their lessons for how they were going to teach those expectations. Walking around the room and hearing the teachers and the ed techs talk together and build these structures for their programs was really interesting to me because it wasn't the teacher leading the group. It was the whole team working together to build the matrix. And finally, if you have a chance, our last home unified basketball game is this Wednesday at 3:30. So if you have an opportunity to go check out the game, please do.
Thank you. All right, secondary principal, Mrs. Watson.
All right. Hello, everybody. We have obviously officially started Q3, and we've completed our winter Maine 3-year testing. Teachers tomorrow will be working with Ms. Shane, who will collect that data and will help them with skills and preparation for our final assessment, which will come in the spring. We received back our state testing for science data. We're pleased that our science scores went up 7% compared to last year, and we have come up 20% since the heart of COVID 4 years ago. The trade-off to early releases versus the late arrivals on Mondays has really been very beneficial for two good reasons. Number one, we've seen a decent increase in the number of students who are participating in the ski club. This year, we have over 70 students at the middle school who are participating. Secondly, the ability for all of our buildings to work collaboratively and having that time together has been extremely beneficial. We have been working really hard for the first several early release days with the high school staff. We've been looking at the the district goal number 1 with strengthening tier 1 instruction with the support of Great Schools Partnership. Teachers 6 through 12 have sat together comparing the scope and sequence of their curriculum and being able to find what overlaps may exist within that curriculum with their skills and their content. And in a very positive way, they have found that there are several overlaps, and many departments are starting to create a scaffolded vocabulary list or other skill development rubrics to really help with that transition through the 6 through 12 curriculum. This work is obviously not done, and it will require a lot more time, but the staff has been extremely engaged in this work and would like to continue. Today, we took a little bit of a break from our vertical alignment, and we worked with BAR on some PD around understanding trauma in students. From this training, teachers learned how trauma impacts the physiological makeup of the brain and how it impacts students' readiness to learn. More importantly, we talked about how the BAR structure allows teams to work together to recognize trauma within students and to be able to create trauma-informed interventions for those students. I've also been in conversation with Maggie around the work they've done with Vision of a Graduate and hope that will hopefully lay out some PD work for the near future in ways the middle school can support that Vision of a Graduate work. The cast list for our spring musical Annie was posted today. There are many excited students out there who now have the really hard work ahead of them, memorizing lines, dance moves, and songs. Basketball season has wrapped up for the year. All of our teams did extremely well. Coaches are very pleased with how the teams have developed and grown over the years. Each team had some really amazing nail-biting finishes and have racked in several wins. If you want to hear more about it, check out the newsletter or the student newspaper that was emailed out to you, and they'll tell you all about the end of the seasons. The ski team is still racing. They just had their first race on February 2nd. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty impressed that they're still going to the mountain because it's too cold for me. So thank you.
All right, Mr. Morse.
All right, good evening. Just a handful of items for you tonight. The first one is we are continuing to work on our differentiated instruction goal. And the last staff meeting we had, we continued going through scenarios that Assistant Superintendent Smith had provided us with this summer. And it's just neat to see the staff as we go through them. These are fictitious teachers presenting lessons to their students, and these scenarios detail what they did and didn't do. And it's neat to see our teachers start to recognize little things like, oh, that's me. I could do this differently. Oh, I thought that was okay. I could take this further. So it's opening their eyes. We're having some great discussion around it. The early childhood occupations program at our Friday vocational advisory committee meeting hosted a tour for us. And then we returned to the conference room and looked at the possibility of embedded credits in 3 areas: English, art, and possibly life science. That was the beginning of the process for seeing if some of the activities and assignments that she gives to her students align with academics. So that we have some students who might have failed an English class, for instance, and can't come to the vocational center because of that their junior year. And what this would do is the activities and assignments they complete in here actually could make it so they could come and meet some of those credits, some of those missing assignments. In that class, we have through the years, it has counted as college English. Credit there, and it has aligned with other high schools in the past as well. So we're delving a little further into that, and we'll see how it aligns. I'll be meeting with the principals soon about it. Couple weeks ago, our construction technology students visited Thomas Motor Cabinet Makers because they're in the middle of a cabinet making unit. And they're doing some great work. If you have a chance, go up and see some of the things that they're building. But this was at the request of one of the young ladies in the program who wants to go into cabinet making as a career. And but the whole class went and benefited from it. And they came back wide-eyed, and just some amazing furniture that's built over there. And lastly, while I can't bring a cabinet in here to show you, I did walk into Mr. Zimmel's Woods 2 class, which is a CTE introductory class for underclassmen, and saw that sitting on the workbench, and I asked him about it. And that was built recently by a young man named Michael Hawks, who did a tremendous job, I thought. To me, that's a work of art. And so I just had to come show you because it's so impressive. So that's just a sample of some of the work our students do. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Suzanne thought you were giving her a gift.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take away from you.
Yeah, I thought you were giving it to me.
So for
That
the
is-
board, Mrs. Thornton is out on bereavement. So we welcome Ms. Spicer to provide on the Spirit Board. Thank you very much.
Second semester is off to a busy start at the high school. February 4th, our 9th and 10th graders completed their NOEA testing and their Maine through year assessments. As Mrs. Wilson already mentioned, our early dismissal days we've used a lot of that time to have the middle and high school teachers working together to audit the curriculum and their instructional units to ensure the alignment with state standards across grade levels. They've been paying specific attention to areas of overlap, any patterns they see, and areas that actually need some attention. And while there aren't many, they do exist. So that's been really important and valuable work that we plan to continue as part of our professional development as much as we're able. This week, and really kind of the end of last week, our advisors started rolling out our vision of a graduate principles. We've adopted the language vision of a Laker. We think it's more fitting for our school as a whole. So our vision of a Laker principles have all been rolled out grade 9 through 12, or 2 out of the 6. Each principal has been turned into an activity for advisories to do during their advisory time. It's a hands-on experience so that each principal will be an opportunity for kids to work with the language of the principal, practice what it means, and then have an opportunity to reflect as a group. And that's gotten off to a really great start. The kids have been so engaged, might even have been considered disruptive for our first one, but they did a great job. We had 58 concurrent Central Maine Community College course registrations in the fall. So that equates to 174 college credits awarded for $96 per credit, which is a total of over $16,000 that our students saved by taking one of our classes at the high school. That is a huge accomplishment. And last week we registered 42 more course registrations for the spring semester. So our teachers at the high school have done an excellent job meeting the needs of what CMCC needs for those concurrent credits. And our kids have really taken the bait and they're taking advantage of it. And it's awesome to see. In the library, AP Gov is celebrating Valentine's Day with Hamilton-themed Valentines that are based on case law. U.S. history students are delivering high-stakes Shark Tank pitches for the 13 colonies. Miss Tui's science class is diving into library resources to explore a chosen piece of space technology for STEM. Mrs. Oren and Miss Russo have been busy onboarding freshmen with our new library technology that we have to offer. So it's been a busy place over there. Our math department has been working with our math consultants who have come in for the district. Courtney spoke really highly of them, and they have been a great addition to our group. They've been taking a really close look at differentiation in our math classes, and it seems that all of the math teachers are enjoying having them here, and they'll be back tomorrow, which is very exciting. Mrs. Oren is helping our staff implement Apple Classroom, which is a new piece of technology for us so that teachers can promote focused and ethical AI usage in the classroom. Teachers can also have a better look at what students are doing on their laptops in real time. We are in our third year of building assets and reducing risks. Our failure rates are at a 3-year low right now, which is really awesome. And our attendance and behavioral data is improving consistently. We're currently working this semester on some positive outreach to home and setting SMART goals for students who are currently undergoing intervention. And lastly, Youth Art Month is coming up. In our area, we are thankful to have 2 impressive events that we have students who will be participating in. Gallery 302 in Bridgeton hosts an exhibit featuring artwork from local high school artists, many of which are Lake Region students in grades 9 through 12. You're all invited to attend the opening reception, which is March 1st from 3 to 5 p.m. And the show will remain up for the month of March. And the Portland Museum of Art hosts a statewide exhibit to celebrate K-12 artists. Art teachers must only submit 1 piece to represent their school. And Lake Region senior students Jacoby Robichaud and Griffin Reynolds are this year's selected LRHS artists. So you're all also invited to the opening reception, which is March 14th at 5:30 p.m. at the Portland Museum of Art. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, it's all good.
Okay. Hi, nice to see you all again. I felt like I was just here. So I wanted just to give you our usual updates. I actually want to tell you that we did get notice. We met state performance in 3 out of the 4 areas last year. And so we did reach 5% of enrollment increase. We met our MSG, which is our measurable skill rate goal. And we also met data match, which means that we were able to get enough social security numbers from all of our students that when they did the match, we were able to meet the requirement for employment. So we did very well. Last year I was not here, so props to the people before me, but we're going to do great again this year too. I promise you that. We are still working on dedicated space over in Freiburg. We do have 2 classrooms now that we've been given, and we are working on an MOU with the rec center. And that's where we'll bring some of that enrichment that I talked about a couple of times now. We're still working on developing our advisory committee group. I do have 3 businesses now on that committee. And I'm hoping to get 2 more who are kind of, I'm waiting to hear from. And so I'm really hopeful that we'll be having that meeting by the end of hopefully the end of the month. That's the goal. I was hoping a little sooner, but that's the goal. And then also I did apply for the Dollar General grant. I don't know if you're familiar with that grant. If you live within 15 miles of it and you're specifically working with an adult education program, you can write for the grant. It's up to $10,000. So I did write for the full $10,000. We'll see if we got it. And the intention is to bring in, we're calling it English language and cultural awareness. And so the idea is just to bring in some cultural elements into the English language classes and to possibly go on a field trip and just bring in some materials and curriculum specific to cultural awareness. So that is obviously still something we need to hear about, whether or not that's going to pass. We have 65 students currently enrolled in the totality of our program. The majority of that is in our equivalency diploma and MCCA, which is our Maine College and Career Access program. We also still have 4 ESL students who are served through our instructor in Portland. We have 7 completers now for their high school equivalency / diploma. And we have 2 stories I want to share with you tonight. One is a lovely lady named Annette. She is a non-traditional student who was actually helping her brother who is an elderly disabled individual, and she was providing in-home care, and learned that she could be actually paid for this and receive a stipend for this if she had a high school equivalency. And so she came back to achieve that goal. And it's really opened her eyes and shown her, how successful she can be at this point in her life, coming back to school. She has a lot of pride. She's glowing with smiles. She's one of our most dedicated students. And she is now working on math, which is a very challenging subject for her, but she continues to come and work towards that goal. So it's really fun to watch that progression. We also have another student named Anne that I want to talk to you about. Anne actually is working as an ESL student with Christine over in Portland. And she actually was working with a nonprofit. She was helping women through a nonprofit. And because of that experience that she was having, she decided she herself wanted to run her own nonprofit. And so she is now on a mission to learn about running a nonprofit, the language of running a nonprofit, and her teachers helping her find resources and organizations that will help her to get those skills and learn about how to do that for herself. So that's pretty exciting growth there that we're a part of witnessing. Sorry, I didn't have my last story for you before I came tonight. So, and then also I want to talk about enrichment. We had 62 offerings right now within the spring. We have 39 active registrations. We started a soap making class. So you'll see that coming up. And then for workforce, as I said, we're still assembling that workforce committee, working on that. We have a meeting with the Bridgeton Hospital, which that will be part of that advisory committee, and also towards the workforce that we want to bring to there. We're excited about the Serve Safe has been approved on the eligible training provider list. This is actually a big deal because any of our trainings that are on the eligible training provider list will qualify for funding through the workforce services or the workforce solutions. So that's really exciting news. And then lastly, we did talk with someone over at Key Bank who is also willing. Her name is Lori, and she's also willing to be on the advisory committee and is also really excited about partnering with us to bring trainings to the community specific to the banking industry. And that's what I have for tonight.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, any public comments and items? Okay. All right, moving on to action items. I need a motion to approve Corinne Murphy as a bus monitor effective January 22nd,
So move.
2026, replacing Vanda Prescott, who transferred to a van driver position. I have a first and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Next, I need a motion for policies.
Madam Chair, I propose that we move on policies number 1 through 10 under B as a block.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to move policies 1 through 10 as a block. All those in favor of moving that as a block? Unanimous. Next, I need a motion to approve the block.
So moved. Second.
First and second to approve policies 1 through 10. Any discussion? These are all second readings.
Sorry, numbers 1 through 4, 1 to 3, I can speak to. There have been no changes since the first reading on those. I don't know about the facilities.
There have been no changes on the facilities ones either. All right, all those in favor? Moving those policies forward. All right. Next, I need a motion to approve policy IKF graduation requirements.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second discussion.
This came from a proposal from Ms. Thornton. The proposed changes include reducing the number of elective credits, adding 1 credit in the area of technology, and removing the requirement of physics. The students also have the option of taking chemistry for either 1 full credit or a half a credit, and then being able to take an elective science on top of that.
The total
Total credit,
science credits is not changing. The only thing that's
Correct.
changing is the removal of the requirement of that.
because it's, yes. We also added a statement relative to homeschool students who wish to have a Lake Region diploma that they must attend Lake Region High School both of their grade 12 semesters in order to qualify for a Lake Region diploma. That's on page 3, 5B.
Any discussion comments?
I have several. If that's okay, maybe clarification. But our policies that we approve drive everything within the school district, correct? And as such, I think it's important that they have above the board clarity as far as what is contained within. With that speaking, under the academic requirements, the ones that have multiple credits on English, math, science, technology, and social studies, it doesn't give us clear picture of when and what they take during those years, and I think it should be included. So that they will know what the flow is from the get-go, even though it might be, even though it might be in the handbook or wherever, I think it should be in the policy.
So that wouldn't go into policy, and it wouldn't go into policy for several reasons, but the biggest reason is we do semesters. We have some kids that are able to fast track. We have kids that are graduating their junior year. So you wouldn't mandate when they would have to take what. If they're that willing to move forward and moving forward those things. The other piece of it is, a lot of times, as you heard tonight, the kids will actually finish their core requirements and then go on to start to take college courses.
Yeah.
So that would not belong in the policy.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, what math you need to take before you take another math.
There again, there are so many variables as to what they can take for math. That's a standard that's within it. For instance, if I think you're probably thinking of like, you have to take algebra 1 before you take algebra 2. But it may be algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2. It may be that they're not taking or moving towards algebra 2. So they may take a math that is different than the algebra 1, or maybe a 2-semester algebra program. So again, it would not land in a policy because there's many variables or directions a student might wish to go. And that's where their capabilities are.
Okay, well, that makes more sense to me. Thank you. I have a question. Would be on the multiple pathways, alternative methods. The only way, how is it determined what would receive a credit?
So all of our courses have gone through credit requirements.
Okay.
So any course that they do take has been vetted. And including the college courses. They're also vetted.
So we don't need that in the policy? Or I'm just thinking for, if a parent pulls this policy out. And it just says blah, 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 and it doesn't say how much or much time or anything.
Well,
We
there's
don't need that.
the multiple, no, because the multiple pathways may be even an independent project that has been, I mean, I had a couple of students not long ago, a couple of years ago, I actually was part of their independent project and they had to come over and work with me and interview and things of that nature. So those projects are set up through the guidance department and again, they are vetted so that they have, actually quite a bit of rigor.
Yeah, so there's probably a committee of people that work with that individual students to make sure.
Well, they also have to be properly assessed through the DOE too. You just can't create things.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other? Questions? All right, all those in favor of moving this forward as a first reading? Unanimous.
One abstention.
Oh, one abstention, sorry. All right,
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve page 12, page 16 as a block. Second.
I have a motion and a second to move policies 12 through 16 as a block. All those in favor of moving that as a block? Unanimous. Next, I need a motion to approve the block.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, discussion. So the facilities committee reviewed these. Phil, you're certainly welcome to add any comments that you'd like. So the chemical hazards, really, we removed primarily all of the old language and went with the recommended language under the chemical hazards policy. The temperature standards for school, we reviewed this policy. I don't believe we made any changes to it. The energy and conservation and management, you can also see that we removed some significant of the old language and used and added new language that was recommended. And the energy conservation and management policy, we reviewed management procedures. We reviewed that. There was also a file code change. We made some changes around the area on page 2. Well, actually, yeah, it reads page 104, but on the second page around the temperatures, you can see that we made some changes there. Then we reviewed the pest management and school facilities and on school grounds policy. Any items you want to add there, Phil? Nope. Okay. Anybody have any discussion or questions? All those in favor of those policies as a first reading? Unanimous. All right, so the policy committee met and we, oops, go ahead, Sharon.
I move that we approve policy 17, 18, and 19 as a block. Second.
All right, we have a first and a second to move 17, 18, and 19 as a block. All those in favor of moving the block forward? Unanimous. Next, I need a motion to approve the block.
So moved.
Motion and second. All right, I will start the discussion. So the policy committee reviewed the school system commitment to standards for ethical and responsible behavior. We made a few changes and some recommended language updates for that policy. We also really made the school district goals and objectives to align with some of our other policies. So we removed all of the old language and you can see the new language that we are proposing. And then we updated based on law and a few other items on the complaints about school personnel policy. Anybody have any discussion or comments on those policies? All right, all those in favor of those as a first reading? Unanimous. All right, next I need a motion to remove some policies.
Madam Chair, I move that we act on policies 20, 21, 22, and 23 as a block. Second.
Motion to remove policies 20, 21, 22, and 23 as a block. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of moving those as a block? Unanimous. Next, I need a motion to remove those policies.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. All right, discussion. Healthy food and beverage policy, if I remember correctly, Courtney, that was duplicative language, so we were removing the policy for that reason. The toilet training and the toilet training procedures, we're recommending removing that. And in your packet, there was what the proposal is that we would provide, or we have been providing, it's potty time, a parent's time for any new student coming into the district around some guidance on those. And
for kindergarten, pre-K, then David needs to.
kindergarten and pre-K. And then the last one was removal of the public complaints procedure, because that's also incorporated in another policy. Any questions on those removals of those policies? All right, all those in favor? Unanimous. All right, next I need a motion to approve the Lake Region High School Student All-State Honors Chorus Field Trip to the University of Maine in Warren, May 13th through May 16th, 2026.
Second.
Motion and second. Yeah, I was just gonna say, Mr. Ford, are you here to talk about this for us tonight?
I am, support Stetson's on your agenda, but I am here tonight, she had to be out, unfortunately. So, well, thank you, I'm speaking on behalf of our music department on these students. So the music department is taking 6 students to the All-State Festival in Orono, coming up on May 13th. 3 seniors, junior, 1 junior and 2 sophomores, all choral students. We'll be departing LHS on May 13th after school, likely on the bus that will drop us off on campus and return to school. Students will be housed and fed on campus with chaperones from our district, including Sophronia Stetson, Miss Rachel Richards, and myself. They'll spend the majority of their time in rehearsals with evening activities, including concerts in the Collins Center for the Arts, both on Thursday and Friday nights. On Saturday during the day, there will be a final concert in the afternoon that families attend. From the concert, families pick up their students to head home. And from what I understand, the prom is going to be the same day as the concert. So likely what will happen is that they'll hurry home, get dressed for the prom, and be good to go.
I have a question. It says on here that parents are expected to attend the concert up there.
From what I understand, that's the policy, or they have to get a ride back from Orono to Lake Region.
Now I'm confused. So we're providing transportation up, but they're coming back with their parents.
Yes, correct.
It says 3 days later.
So what happens to our big bus? Is it coming back after?
It will come back, yes. It will come back after dropping the students off on Wednesday.
Is there any, sorry, I have a follow-up question. Is there any conversation with parents if there's some sort of reason why they might not be able to attend the concert?
Sophronia would know that better than I would, but I know that she has been in contact with a few parents.
And we do have a process that parents shouldn't be able to go, student with proper permission can ride back with other parents.
That was my next question, is how do we deal with the ones whose parents don't go?
Like that.
Right back with Al.
There's no cost to the student, correct? Is that how I'm understanding the form?
I know that there's a cost for registration. I don't know what the cost is, but that would be the only cost for students to attend the festival. I think it's $20 per student, but that's our current budget.
Right. All those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you for your support.
Please keep in mind that we'd love to have the students come back and report to us after this event.
Or sing,
Sure that they will love it.
they could sing for us.
Bring up the phone.
Thank you. All right, public comments on non-agenda items. Bill?
I don't know whether this place, can you give me some update on the Harrison situation?
Oh, as far as what they're doing or not doing?
Well, I read what was in the paper, but have they continued conversation with you?
I've been in touch with them many times.
Yeah.
kind of giving them some guidelines or information of how the process works. I have no idea where they want to go with it or what they want to do with it. But I obviously kept the door open for future conversations.
Would they be like Tobago, they'd be their own school district, or would they?
That's an
want
option they
be
would
in
have. That would be an option they would have. They could actually petition to be part of our district. That would be an option they could look into, obviously take board approval. They could look at tuitioning some students to middle school and high school. I don't know where they're at.
And do you have an idea how many students that would involve?
No. Not at this time.
No,
I don't think they do either.
no. Thank you.
Right, any other public comments on non-agenda items? All right, moving on to information items, committee reports, liaison.
We met during the month of January with all of the staff from all 5 schools. It was very enlightening. I think we learned a lot and we shared a lot of that information with the various parties and will continue to do so. We also met with students from grades 6 through 8 from the middle school and then 9 through 12. From them, we got some really positive information. They feel a real sense of community. They are feeling that they have wonderful teachers, that they're engaged and learning a lot. Most of them are extremely happy about the cell phone policy. And one of the comments was they didn't have to be afraid to raise their hand and give a wrong answer because they weren't being videotaped. Which was, shocking to kind of take in as a board member. They really felt that communication between teachers creates a better learning environment for them because the expectations from teacher to teacher are pretty clear and consistent. So when we hear that the teachers are now able to meet with one another from the 6th through the 12th grade, we're certainly aiming at giving the students what they'd like to see. And they also, I think, really appreciate the high school policy developing on when work is due and how it needs to be in and those kinds of things. As they become more consistent, the students really cheer that on. So the staff all the way along, I think we heard from so many of them that they really love coming to work. They love working in Lake Region. They're working very hard. They have great leadership at those individual schools. And there was a real nod to the assistant superintendent for all the work she did to get them the materials for the new reading program. And I think that was probably done in the summer, Courtney. They spoke very positively for that. And I think of all the leadership positions. I mean, we are not without issues, but I think there's a real positive feeling throughout the schools. So thank you to everyone who makes that happen every day. And we did meet today to discuss that, and we have staff recognition coming up, Laker Pride Awards next month, and the school budget. Oh, boy. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, personnel?
Yes, we met tonight. We met a little earlier, 30 than usual. We had several, first of all, we had a job description of CNA clinical instructor in the vocational school. We made some minor changes in wordings. We asked questions, made comments, and we are recommending sending this job description to the board for first reading. Next, we got into policies, substitute teachers, educational specialists. This policy defines different types of substitute positions, long-term, short-term,
Also, when ed techs cover classes for a day or a half day, and when an RN is out, who covers for that person? And we're sending this along for a first reading. Next policy is school records retention policy, which it was updated, it was out of date, and we have wording from the state. The name is changed. Language was added, and we decided to keep the note in the policy. There's a note about statutes and stuff. So we decided to not keep the note at the beginning, but move it to more the middle. And this is also ready for a first reading. Then we looked at nepotism of school staff. This is a Lake Region policy. And if you notice, next we had nepotism on our agenda, and this is mandated and it's kind of redundant. So nepotism of school staff, we recommend removal. And the nepotism, that is BCC for the code. We made some minor wording changes, but we'll send that for first reading. Then we had personal use of school property. Okay, and this was tabled for more information. We're not sure if we need it or not. It's quite outdated, and we're going to get some more information about that. And then new policy to review employee use of cell phones. This policy kind of reflects what we expect of students. So we are expecting a lot of those things from employees, and even talks about when they're driving. And this is necessary, and it's going to the board for next reading. Our next meeting is March 30th at 6 o'clock in the Voc Center conference room.
Great, thank you. All right, facilities, Bill.
We met this evening. First thing we had discussion on the Bridgeton Memorial School. And really, I hadn't seen much change in the last 4 or 5 years. We're still going round and round with them. Al's working with them and trying to get an answer, and yeah, it just seems never ending to get a real answer out of them. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. Andy applied for a nutrition equipment grant, and he's going to be able to buy a couple pieces of equipment for the food service. He got a grant for efficiency Maine lighting, which is it's more for the outer perimeter of the schools lighting and stuff, in some areas where hasn't been done. And that'll have to be done this summer. The Stevens Brook oil line issue has been resolved with a settlement, and it got fixed. So the school district had to fix it, and we received a check for the damages. And there's some landscaping that's got to be finished up in the spring. Transportation update is pretty much the same. Mike's been having safety meetings on Monday and working on trying to keep everybody happy with kids and things on the buses, and still battling to have enough bus drivers to do the routes every week, and all the sports activities, finding bus drivers to do those in the evening and during the days on the weekend. And that's it.
Bill.
And I did mention the 302 traffic jam. It's gonna start tomorrow, and how we're gonna deal with the Summer Lock traffic coming in and out, because the lights are right there and traffic's gonna be backed up mornings and evenings. So hopefully we can get things worked out so we can get out of the Sangha Lock Road.
All right, curriculum.
Yes, the curriculum committee last met on Wednesday, January 14th, which seems like it was at least 3 months ago. We, not only did we, talk about the change in the graduation requirements, but we reviewed 3 special education policies. On one of them, we changed the title. One was just a review only, and one was just an update of the code. So those won't be coming forward, because there weren't any changes to the policies themselves. Callie was there and presented her ideas for a new revised logo for the adult ed program. We gave her a stamp of approval for that. And as you also know, we decided to move the toilet training policy. Was the highlight of the meeting. There was a lot of discussion on it. We'll just leave it at that. The next meeting is this Wednesday, February 11th at 3:30 p.m.
Finance.
Yes, well, you have the notes already from meetings. We had 2 in general, we didn't meeting an awfully lot. At the second meeting, everybody on the committee is working very, very hard. Sherry and Al have done an excellent job. The staff is doing, the administrative staff is doing the best they can to keep everything under control and reasonable. As with taxes, we're always worried about that. And they've done a fine job. We had 279s. The 279s are a document for the state, tells how much money we're gonna get back. And it came out very good in 2 out of 3 towns. And we're making adjustments so that the other town, they got hit a little bit harder. And one of the reasons is the property taxes have gone up because of land valuation. Unfortunately, we live in the Lakes region. I mean, it's beautiful here, but evidently the state thinks we're extremely wealthy. And that, except for Al, there isn't that many wealthy people around. So we've done the best. We've got another meeting come up. I forgot my phone, so I think it's Wednesday
Wednesday night,
and it's
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Here.
Yes, with the
in this room.
administrators, upper range, the middle school and the high school. Vocational. A few other people that are lucky to come in front of us and present their wishes to us. If everything was a wish. So we're doing our best, and like I say, kudos to the superintendent and his trusty right hand. Girl,
And that budget will come to the full board next month.
yeah, next month you'll get a chance to see it all.
It'll be your turn.
Yes, yeah, we've had our turn.
All right, superintendent's report.
So I just want to congratulate both the girls and the boys basketball teams, as well as our ski group that's doing very well. Girls did squeak into the playoffs. They are actually playing a preliminary game tomorrow. I believe it's at 11. Don't know what time, probably 6:30. What time?
6:30 right now.
6:30. Hopefully they'll be able to get it in. Who knows with this weather? The boys actually play their first game at the Expo, and they play, I believe it's Monday at 1 o'clock. So anybody like to go? It's available. As far as the weather goes, Wednesday morning, I'm sure everybody would like to know what my crystal ball is. I don't know this time around, and the weather hasn't been very good predicting things, but worst case scenario, if something does happen with a delay or no school, we still will have our Wednesday afternoon, evening, I should say, but financial meetings here. The weather will clear by then, so that won't be an issue. As far as snow days go, as I alluded to earlier, I'm having 4 traditional snow days. We do have 1 remaining available, and it may take place Wednesday, it may not. After that, though, it will be going to remote days, and I know the schools are doing a lot of work with their staff as well as parents and students. So they will be prepared should we end up with more snow days after the fourth one. But the next snow day, whenever that will be still a traditional snow day. The last thing I want to share is I will be presenting informational pieces around the budget to all of the select groups. February 18th, which is a Wednesday, I will be actually at Naples, and that's at 6 o'clock. February 24th, which is a Tuesday, I'll be at Casco at 6 o'clock.
No, you'll be at Bridgeton.
Bridgeton,
Well,
Yeah.
only Bridgeton.
okay, I'm at Bridgeton at 5 o'clock. And then, that's right, and then Tuesday, March 3rd, I'll be at Casco at 6 o'clock. I actually have it on my calendar, so if I got it wrong here, I would get it right later on. Thank you.
Great. All right. Personnel. We have some retirements. Victoria Norris, a third grade teacher at Crooked River Elementary School, will be retiring effective at the end of the 25-26 school year. Heather Stewart, a special education teacher at Stevens Brook Elementary School, will be retiring effective at the end of the 25-26 school year. Julie Schoenfield, adult education teacher, will be retiring effective June 30th, 2026. Kathleen Traggart, teacher at Lake Region Middle School, will be retiring effective the end of the 25-26 school year. We have some resignations. Valerie Young, principal at Stevens Brook Elementary School, has resigned effective June 30th, 2026. Elizabeth Adams, custodian at Lake Region High School, resigned effective January 20th, 2026. Noriko Ellingwood, custodian food service worker at Songolox Elementary School, resigned effective February 4th, 2026. Leslie Giancamo, bus school monitor, resigned effective January 28th, 2026. Lisa Monteforte, school bus worker at Lake Region Middle School, resigned effective February 3rd, is resigning effective February 13th, 2026. And Laura Leland, a permanent substitute at Stevens Brook Elementary School, is resigning effective February 13th, 2026. Valerie Young is transferring to a sixth grade science position at Lake Region Middle School for the 26-27 school year, replacing Kathy Traggart, who is retiring at the end of the 25-26 school year. And good, yes.
I've just been reminded by someone in the audience who happens to know more than I do about sports, that the indoor track and field has actually 13 of our students competing at the state meet at Bates College Monday at noon. So that's a big deal. Thank you.
Great. Next, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Have a great evening, everyone.